What's going on, Tamers? East here, and with the EX09 Versus Monsters set releasing soon for the Digimon Card Game, I wanted to do a really quick overview of all the major archetypes from the set. In this video, we're going to be talking about the version 2 DM trait Digimon, but if you want to know more about the other archetypes from EX9, definitely check out the other videos on the channel. And with that, let's dive in and take a look at the version 2 DM trait cards. So taking a look at the version 2 cards, the level 3s and level 2s for pretty much every version, or trait in this case, have pretty similar effects, where the level 2 essentially allows you to evolve at cost minus. Honestly, I think the Tsunomon has one of the better effects, where you can just, anytime an effect would put a face down card underneath him, you can evolve at cost -1 once during your turn into a version 2 trait Digimon. Doesn't care how it was done, doesn't care where it's from, as long as the effect just puts a card underneath there. Meanwhile, your level 3s are pretty straightforward, in your Searcher being the Gabumon card, and then your Elecmon being the training card. Again, a really quick overview of training for folks who aren't aware. Training is an effect where, even in the breeding area, you can rest the Digimon and then put a card on the top of your deck face down underneath it in its sources like so. And then later on, the different cards from this set or this trait will allow you to use those face down cards in some way. And then taking a look at the level 4s, most of these cards seem like they are disruption focused, where the Kabuterimon allows you to suspend a Digimon and then it doesn't unsuspend during your opponent's next suspend phase. Probably one of the first Garurumon cards that hasn't been completely busted that Bandai has printed. Simply just trashes source cards. And then you've also got the Angemon here, who gives out security attack -1 as well as -3000 DP for a turn. And then taking a look at the level 5s here, you're going to have two choices here when you evolve from those level 4s. One being the Skullgreymon, who can pull back cards from the trash based on how many face down source cards he has. And then when he's deleted, you can play a level 4 DM trait Digimon. Doesn't matter the version, just a DM trait Digimon in his place. On the other hand, the Metal Amemon here is going to allow you to source strip cards for every face down card he has, and then you're going to be able to bounce cards to the bottom of the deck after that. Again, similar to the level 4s, the Skullgreymon here seems a little bit more resource oriented, whereas the Metal Amemon seems a bit more disruptive like the level 4s. If you watch the version 1 video, then you know that when you get to the level 6s here, all of the version cards have a ace as a level 6, and the version 2 is no exception, with the small note that their boss monster is not actually the level 6, it's actually the level 7 Amemon Alter S, who is also version 1 and version 2. So he can be used kind of together with both of the decks. And I think the idea is to actually use these cards kind of interconnectedly together in order to form Amemon Alter S, where you also need the Blitzgreymon Ace as a way to go into this guy. The incredible thing about having the Crest Garurumon Ace down is that if he and the other level 6 are on the board, whenever they're removed, you can just DNA Digivolve immediately. So in this case, the Crest Garurumon acts as a protection for both of the level 6 aces on the board, so whenever they're removed, you can just go into the Amemon Alter S immediately. So some of my takeaways for version 2, this really does feel like the club soda of the DM trait cards for EX9, where there's not really some hugely noticeable game plan, and the cards don't really have some sort of like interconnectivity other than their trait, but they do seem to be a really good mixer for pretty much any other version, especially the version 1 cards, which have the same boss monster in the Amemon Alter S. I will say that maybe the boon of the version 2 cards that might not be readily apparent just by looking at them is that they probably have the best way to put face down source cards underneath your Digimon, and that you can always do it from either the hand or the trash, so you know what you're putting underneath there, where in other cases you are sometimes just top decking a card and putting it underneath it without looking. So probably the most noticeable card outside of the level 6s and level 7s is probably going to be the level 5 Skullgreymon, letting you pull back cards from the trash, and then whenever he's deleted, you can just play down a level 4 DM trait Digimon of any version, which is, I think, could be useful in a lot of the other versions. Again, one of the reasons I think this is probably one of the mixer archetypes for the EX9 set. Also, keep in mind, you get this effect not only on his card, but also in Inheritance as well. So whether he's evolved over or you just have him on the board, you're going to get the same effect either way. And with that, we're going to wrap up the overview for the EX9's version 2 trait Digimon cards. Again, I didn't find very much here. I think most of these cards can just kind of be slotted into some of the other decks, but let me know what you folks are out there thinking. Did you cook up some ideas that I didn't come across? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Before you get out of here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.